Tara is a visual artist and designer and is currently studying her Masters of Professional Creative Practice at Idea School. She finds a correlation between her rapidly declining social life and an increasing penchant for early nights. Her talk tonight is entitled 4 Questions for a Taxi Driver. Ladies and gentlemen, Tara Cooney.
Good evening. If you're a taxi driver, there's 3 questions you're likely to hear on your shift. Many of us have caught a cab after a few drinks and concentrated at remaining articulate whilst we casually ask, how's your night going? Being busy? What time do you knock off? Now, whilst we might not expect to have a conversation that Socrates would be proud of, I have become increasingly aware of how we converse with those around us and of the importance of meaningful connection. In our digital world, we've become adept at touching base, perusing feeds of conversation, liking this and that, yet often failing to connect at a deeper level. I think it's worth considering how engaged are we really with those around us. Now, the idea of deep and meaningfuls may make your palms sweaty and your heartbeat elevate. I'm experiencing that now. But I wanted to share a key to creating genuine conversation. That is to remember, it's not all about me. Now, I'm aware of the irony here that I'm the one talking, and I've willingly reflected the focus to yours truly, but bear with me. It's not all about me. The approach to focus on others might seem obvious, but for a long time, I was quite happy to phone my mum, talk all about my problems, my study, my life, and finish the call feeling quite happy with how things went. Not particularly satisfying for my mum. As I get older, however, I'm aware of the dangers of shortchanging ourselves of real conversations with those that mean most to us. The more I learn about Mum, the more I appreciate her for who she is and what she has experienced. I mean, she actually had a life before I was born. I've asked Mum about those times. She grew up in rural South Australia in the 50s, with the freedom to roam unsupervised and swim every day in the Murray River. That's Mum, her older brother. And about her comparative uni days in the city of Adelaide, where she struggled with homesickness, finally graduating as a zoologist. Mum spent years living in the outback as a jillaroo, practically living on her horse. When I asked her what she loved most about her time on the station, she tells me about the timelessness of the desert, the vastness of space, the peace she felt, and the silence. And how she felt when that handsome Kiwi cowboy decided they should pair up for good. That's my dad. What do you love in life, Mum? I'm a simple soul, she says. Nature and family. Mum and Dad had 5 of us kids, and they raised us on a kiwi fruit farm here in New Zealand, in the rural area of Glenbrook. And when Dad died suddenly from a brain aneurysm, leaving her with 5 young children, I asked Mum, how on earth did she cope with that? Mum's taught me a lot about resilience, about having a bloody good cry when you need to, and how to focus on the good. I mean, look at us, we're pretty cute. Consequently, I treasure close relationships with those I love and talking about real stuff. Capturing memories has become important to me too. It's one of the reasons I value printed photo albums so much. They're a wonderful tactile trigger for storytelling, and everyone has a story to tell. Yet time can seem like a barrier to meaningful conversation. We're busy people. I know what it's like as a parent, to be hanging on by sheer will to get through the daily grind of routine, work, school activities and tired partners. I've had days where the most meaningful conversation was, love, can you grab a bottle of wine on the way home? There's real value to be found when I take the opportunity to slow down and pay attention to my family. My 9-year-old daughter has a current infatuation with drawing dragons. We sat with this one and discussed, with all seriousness, the benefits and hypnotising eyes. She revels in my attention and shares her ideas. When I agree that ice powers would indeed be very handy, and we continue to discuss the merits of when and where we might use them, she feels heard. We have connected. Recently, I conducted a series of interviews with my husband's grandparents about their life together. This included contributions from family in Australia and New Zealand, encompassing 4 generations. I gathered imagery and text from their personal collections of documents, sentimental objects, and photographs to create a bespoke book to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary. The connection from this experience was twofold. They felt valued and honoured, and I learned about their life pre-technology, of their philosophical outlook, and the secret to Nana's famous scones. We've had an interesting life. We've never had a fortune, Papa says, but we've had fun. Of course, it's not just family we encounter in our day-to-day lives, and it's very easy to slip into habits of small talk. It's like a warmly generic blanket of nice we wrap ourselves in. How's your day going? Good. Yours? Yeah, good. Wife? Good. Kids? Yeah, not too bad, aren't they? We are all amazing people, and we each have interesting and diverse stories. We all have something to offer. PECHA KUCHA is testament to that. So what richer experience might we have as we go through life if we slow down and take the time to ask more about each other and listen? I do believe the connections we make with family, friends, and community are what matters most. Time really is the most valuable resource you have. So what's one question you would like to ask your mum, or dad, or brother, or closest friend? The year my dad passed away, he was working as a taxi driver for United Taxis in Paddlecurra. What I would give to catch his cab today. As I slid in the back, I reckon I'd skip the small talk. Just drive, Dad, and can you tell me